Coach, you're 9 games into the season, played 9 games in about a month. Now you have a week off before the next game. Give me an overall evaluation of where the team's at right now.
Well, I think one thing is this week is very important for us. It has been very important for us. Like you said, 9 games in a month is heavy, and one of those, 3 of those games were actually in Puerto Rico, so that was a long trip. So our guys, we really feel like we needed this week to recover physically, mentally, and also next week we get another week and we can work out and continue to get better. And I think for us right now, having such a young team and guys that are stepping up in different ways with new roles and maybe playing some positions that they're not necessarily used to, this week and next week are very important to continue to learn, continue to get better, and that's what we're trying to do right now. But as far as where the team is, I think we're doing pretty well. Like I said, some guys are stepping out of their comfort zone in new positions and really giving everything they have and continuing to get better and learn each and every week watching film. And right now, that's all we can ask for.
You touched on new guys in new positions. DJ Newble obviously comes to mind.
Yeah.
A natural wing. What's the most challenging thing about learning to play the point position?
As well as Jermaine Marshall, because they spell it a little bit, and I think Jermaine's going to have to play it a little bit more just to give DJ some more rest every once in a while. But the most challenging thing is decision making. When the ball's in your hands for that long and that many possessions, and you're making all of the decisions, and you're now an extension of the head coach and the quarterback, so to speak, on the floor. If you're not used to making those decisions and focusing on making sure everyone is where they need to be every possession and getting everybody involved, that's a learning experience. Things happen a little bit more quickly for the point guard position because you have to make decisive decisions, whereas if you're normally a wing and you're normally a scorer, well, that's your one mindset is to score. And I think changing that mindset in someone like DJ and Jermaine, it's a process. But again, they've been very open to it. They've been great in film sessions with both assistant coaches and the head coach. And again, that's all we can ask for. As long as they continue to have a willingness to get better, we think they will.
What can you say about their effort? And you touched on the time they're putting in and how they've improved. What have you seen from game 1 when DJ was and Jermaine were running the point to the point now?
Well, again, their decision making. That's one thing that we need to continue to get better, though. We have way too many turnovers, specifically in the first half of some games here. The last 3 or 4 games, our turnovers have just killed us in the first half. They've done a much better job after halftime. We've made adjustments, and they've done a good job understanding those adjustments. But that's something we got to continue to get better. So I would say their decision-making and just understanding the point guard position and when to take your chances and when to kind of hold off and hold back. But the way teams have been playing us and the way teams are probably going to continue to play us is pressure us, 94 feet and try to wear us down over the course of the game. So sometimes when you're just trying to run offense, it's not going to work. So these guys are capable of just making plays, and that's what you need to do sometimes to keep the defense off of you.
Ross Travis really seems like he's having more confidence every day.
Yeah.
When he's making shots like he's done the past couple of games, how dangerous is he?
Well, as you see, I believe he had a double-double last game, and he's nearly averaging a double-double. But we think he's capable of doing more. Obviously as coaches, you're always expecting more. But you can see the growth, no question about it, from last year to this year, and even the first game of the season to the last game of the season. But he obviously, when he's shooting like that, it opens everything up for Jermaine, and DJ gives you another option. And the better he gets, the more comfortable he gets with the ball in his hands. We might even have him bring it up every once in a while to spell both Jermaine and DJ. If teams are going to be pressing us 94 feet the entire game, it's not a bad option for us. But again, he understands he needs to keep getting better, and he's going to play nearly 35, almost 40 minutes a game. And his energy level has to be high, at a level that brings us 10, 11, 12 rebounds, continues to get better. And when he's playing at that level, it just opens up everything for our team.
Brandon Taylor, a guy that's given you a lot of production in the early part of the season, a little bit of foul trouble, but what have you seen from the freshman?
Well, again, he's a freshman, so as you can see, there's been a little bit of inconsistency, one game up, one game down, and that's going to happen throughout this year. That's what we're working on now. Unfortunately, he gets in foul trouble early, and that affects our team as well as his play because he struggles to get into a rhythm. But you can see the potential is there and the improvement each and every game is there. You know, what's most impressive about Brandon is his basketball IQ. He makes great decisions. He understands the game. He understands what we're trying to do defensively. And also, when things break down offensively, he's able to just make plays based off his basketball IQ. And the one thing he has is a serious amount of confidence, which is what we need. He's not afraid to miss 1, 2, 3 shots. He's going to take the fourth. And that's something that's not always the case with young guys. So he's an extremely confident player, and we want to use that confidence and continue to get better. But, you know, the main thing with Brandon is just continuing to develop his body and continuing to get in game shape. And I think if he does that, he's going to be extremely effective in the Big Ten.
You touched on a lot of guys needing to play a lot of minutes, but at a high level of energy and effort. How difficult is that to get across to a player when the bench isn't quite as deep as you'd probably like?
I mean, it's difficult, especially like you said earlier, 9 games in a month. That's tough to do because bodies, you know, everybody's hurting throughout the country, but you know, it's tough night in and night out, as long, you know, to physically be there, mentally be there for 40 minutes each and every time you step on the floor, and that's what we need our guys to do. And you know, we demand a lot in practice, so our practices aren't, you know, coasting. So our practices are hard, and we expect them to raise their level when they step on the floor for games. So again, it's something that we have to do a better job of as a coaching staff to monitor on a daily basis and make sure that we're fresh when game time comes around.
Looking for your 3rd straight home win on Saturday against Delaware State. What's the emphasis of practice this week leading up to Saturday's game?
Just to continue to get better defensively as a team. I think we feel like we've given up way too many 3-pointers in the last couple of games, and we've got to do a better job keeping guys in front of us. So and closing out on shooters. That's something that we need to continue to get better. But it's tough when you have so many games in a short period of time. You got to spend, you know, practice time. You can't necessarily go back and work on your habits and some things that preseason we were focusing on a lot. So this long week of practice gives us an opportunity to go back, develop our habits a little bit more, work on some of our fundamentals, and I think that's what we're focusing on specifically today in today's practice and tomorrow's is team defense and communication.
Coach, thanks for your time and best of luck.
You're welcome. Thank you.